Hey reporters, welcome back to my channel. It looks as though Pete Davidson has been firing up the old PR team, which is really interesting to me because of all the relationships that we've seen Kim Kardashian involved in. It's always been her and her family painting her as the victim and the guy as doing all the things wrong, leading to the demise of their relationship, right? But this time, it seems as though she's met her match in Pete Davidson, you guys, because his people are coming out with story after story about the red flags that he experienced while dating Kim Kardashian that led to him dumping her. Wow, you guys, I'm sorry, but if I were Kim, I'd be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed that this is what I did. I am supposed to be like the hottest woman in the world, right? One of them. And I just got divorced. I've got like my 4 kids. And then this is what I chose to do. I chose to get with some 28-year-old guy who has a history of just being very unstable and stuff. And now I'm getting dragged through the mud by him. I can't. I don't know how she handles this because this is freaking wild. Anyway, so his latest tea that he's been spilling to the press, this one I'm getting from thesun.com, is that there's been a laundry list of reasons why he left Kim. So one of them was that he's claiming that she and her mom tried to force an engagement. Yeah, we'll get to that, but let's start at the very beginning. He's saying first, well, in that same vein, that Kim was very controlling. Like she was micromanaging him right down to his outfits and trying to get him to get onto a diet because she discovered the keto diet. She lost 10 pounds in a week and now she's loving her skinny era. Her sister Khloe's in the skinny era. And they wanted Pete to be the third Kardashian in the skinny era with them. He's naturally very thin, so I was quite surprised by that. His people say, and I quote, that Kim insisted he only be seen in brands that were affiliated with her family deal. So I'm thinking Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce & Gabbana sponsored Kravis's wedding in Italy, and Kim has been working almost exclusively with Balenciaga lately. I feel like that's really unfair for her to ask of him if he's not being paid. Obviously, Kravis and the family were paid to rock Dolce & Gabbana for the wedding. Obviously, Kim is being paid to be a model for Balenciaga and to wear almost exclusively Balenciaga. So if Pete is not being paid for it, they're just trying to force him to do it because it would add to their own money. I do find that sketchy, so I understand him deciding to walk away from that. Another thing that's interesting is him talking about her trying to change his sense of dress. I find it particularly interesting because when Kim first got with Kanye, that was a huge controversial topic in their relationship, how he threw out all of her clothes and remade her in his own image. So it's interesting to see her go from the victim of that to the perpetrator of that with somebody else. And now this is where we get into Kim and Kris allegedly trying to force him to propose to Kim Kardashian. So they're saying they wanted him to really look a certain way, like completely overhaul his look, right down to diet, eliminating junk food and everything, because, and I quote, he had to look the part of her future husband. Kris had picked out a ring and wanted to stage this Kourtney and Travis style engagement for the show. In the first season of The Kardashians, we saw Travis propose to Kourtney at the beach. So that was quite interesting. But Kim has already had so many engagements on that show. To that basketball player guy, like didn't he propose like at a hotel or something like that? Kanye, he proposed at the baseball thing. Like, did she really want to be engaged for the 3rd time on that show? And I'm sorry, but at what point do you just say that marriage is not for me? Kim's been divorced now 3 different times. Like, maybe marriage isn't for you. It's kind of like J-Lo with her marriage and like her wearing all these white dresses and stuff and having these big weddings. It's like, is it not embarrassing at a certain point to continuously get married and engaged? To me, I feel like after 3 divorces, it's probably time to cool off and just enjoy, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend life or whatever, cohabitating or something. I don't know. I digress. We're all different. Or to just not do things as big and as grand as the first time around. Same thing with Pete. Pete has been engaged now twice, right? So this would have been his 3rd engagement that I know of anyway. Maybe he's already been engaged 3 times and this would have been the 4th time. So Pete's people are saying that he refused to go along with the staged engagement because, and I quote, he found that tacky and kept kicking the idea into the long grass, which Kim and Kris took to mean he was stalling on the engagement. I find that quite, I don't know how I feel about it because Kim and Pete had only been dating for 9 months, right? So do I really believe that billionaire, like beauty icon, Kim Kardashian would want to be married to Pete Davidson after 9 months of dating? No. I really don't. I don't. I'm sorry, but no, I just don't see it. You guys, if you've been following my channel for a long time, you know I never believed in the relationship. I thought it was PR initially to cover up from the Astroworld Festival, but later it came out that it was to distract from Khloe having a second baby with Tristan. So I don't know. The only thing that's really shocking to me right about now is the fact that Pete's side is out there putting out stories. Normally that's reserved. The victim role is normally reserved for the Kardashians. So that's mainly what's getting me about this entire thing. I just don't buy that they wanted to be engaged. And I, more than that, don't buy that Pete did not want to be engaged. Pete is a diehard romantic. He would get engaged in a week. Didn't he propose to Ariana after like a month or something like that? So like if he had the opportunity to do that with Kim freaking Kardashian, do you really think he wouldn't take it? Sorry, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm just curious about his side, like gearing up the PR machine. Anyway, you guys, what do you think about this? About Pete complaining about Kim being a control freak, micromanaging his diet, his dress, Kris trying to stage an engagement, and Pete allegedly declining the opportunity to marry Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry, but he's never going to score better than Kim freaking Kardashian. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just not buying it. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll talk about it. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.